Okay, let's start with something that should feel completely absurd in 2026. A country's top representative has to warn that democracy is under threat because people don't understand how their government works. That's not some dystopian novel. It's Australia's Governor General Sam Mostyn literally this week. And honestly, if that doesn't make you pause and think about how fragile our systems are globally, you're not paying attention. Because here's the thing. This isn't just about Australia. This is a symptom of a worldwide crisis we're all ignoring. Let's unpack this, and trust me, it's way more connected to your life than you realize. So Mostyn's warning about declining civic knowledge feels like a wake-up call we're all snoozing on. But why does this matter? Look, if people don't grasp the basics like how laws get made, why checks and balances exist, or even what their elected officials actually do, they can't hold power accountable. And that vacuum, that's where conspiracy theories, misinformation, and authoritarian overreach thrive. Think about it. When a third of Americans can't name the 3 branches of government, or when Australian voters think the Governor General is just a fancy party host, you create a democracy-shaped target for opportunists. And let's be real, those opportunists are everywhere right now. Now here's where it gets wild. This isn't just a dumb voters problem. It's baked into how we consume information. Social media rewards outrage over understanding. Politicians avoid explaining complex systems because nuance doesn't go viral. And education systems? They're still teaching civics like it's 1995, while tech monopolies rewrite societal rules in real time. The result? A generation that's hyperconnected online, but fundamentally disengaged from the structures shaping their reality. And that's before we even touch how corruption scandals, like NSW's Liberal Party drama, erode trust further. Every gotcha headline just makes people shrug and say, why bother? But wait, let's pivot to something that sounds absurd but makes perfect sense. European football federations threatening to boycott FIFA over selling chunks of the World Cup to Wall Street? On paper, this is about money, but dig deeper and it's about institutional betrayal. FIFA's trying to turn a global cultural institution into a financial asset, while European bodies, themselves no saints, suddenly care about football's soul. The hypocrisy here is thick, but the underlying tension isn't trivial. It's about who controls cultural power in an era where everything's monetizable. And isn't that the same fight we're seeing everywhere? From streaming platforms devouring music rights to private equity buying up local sports teams. The line between passion and profit is vanishing, and fans are the collateral damage. And then there's the Clooneys evacuating their French home due to wildfires. On the surface, celebrity drama. But zoom out. This is the 3rd climate disaster this summer in Europe. Record heat waves, historic fires. And yet, the global response? A mix of performative outrage and crickets. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. We've normalized catastrophe. The Clooneys evacuation makes headlines because they're famous, but what about the families in Suffolk who lost everything? The climate crisis isn't a future threat. It's reshaping our present, and we're treating it like background noise. Which brings me to my next point. Why do we only care when it affects people we recognize? That's not just hypocrisy. It's a failure of collective empathy. Let's end on a curveball. A library book returned after 150 years. Adorable, right? But think about what that book witnessed. It left shelves during the Industrial Revolution, got lost as the world hurtled into modernity, and resurfaced now, as we're grappling with AI, climate collapse, and democratic decay. That book is literally a time capsule of human progress and regression. It's a reminder that some problems, like balancing innovation with ethics, are timeless. And maybe, just maybe, the answers we need about fixing democracy or saving the planet aren't in the next tech breakthrough, but in the lessons we've literally buried in the walls of history. So here's my question to you. What lost wisdom are we ignoring today that could fix tomorrow? Let me know in the comments because I'm not done wondering.